Hello friends, and welcome back to Rachel's Baking Corner. Today we are going to be trying a recipe that I have never tried before, but I have thought about on many occasions, and that is going to be oatmeal baked apples. A nice warm baked apple filled with brown sugar and oats, and I'm going to be adding pecans, and then also a homemade caramel sauce to go on top, and I got some vanilla ice cream in the freezer, you know? So I'm really excited to try this. I'm gonna be completely honest, my inspiration for this recipe is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because you can cook in that game to give yourself health benefits and revitalize, and you can make a baked apple, and it's really stinking cute, and so we're gonna try that today. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna first go over our ingredients. You'll notice I have things kind of set up in spaces, and that's just because there's repeated ingredients, and then we're doing 3 different things, okay? First things first, 1 cup of pecans to toast. This is not in the recipe. I have to add pecans to almost every dessert I make that includes a cinnamon brown sugar situation, because that's just the kind of person I am. I love that toasted, nutty pecan goodness. Pecan, it depends on what mood I'm in and how I say it, but 1 cup of pecan. For apples, you need 3 firm and sweet apples. So it recommends like a Fuji or a Honey Crisp. I am using Pink Lady and a Granny Smith. I'm not sure how these are going to bake. Again, I've never done this before, but these are my favorite kind of apples because I love that sweet, sour, crispy apple. And I think that's gonna work well. We have 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. That is going to be rubbed on the apples. Then we have 3/4 of a cup of flour and 3/4 of a cup of oats and 1 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon once again, and an 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So that's everything for the apples. Oh, I apologize, and a stick of butter. I forgot that part. 1 stick of butter. When it comes to the caramel sauce, you need a whole cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, 2 cups of brown sugar, and 2/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. Notice I poured that now. I want that to get to room temperature so that while I'm working with hot caramel, it doesn't make it go all crazy. So the first thing we're gonna do, or better yet, our order of operations: toast our pecans. While our pecans are toasting, prep our apples. Probably before the apples are even done, the pecans will be done. Pull those out, let them cool, finish prepping our apples. Then we need to melt our butter and mix our ingredients and bake our apples. While they're baking, we're gonna make our caramel sauce, and then hopefully everything will be done right around the same time. We'll want them to cool a bit, and then we'll assemble, okay? I'm so excited, and I hope that this turns out well because I've never done this before. So, you saw in my past video with my chocolate chip cookies how I toast pecans. Just spread them out on a pan, put it in my toaster oven on the toast feature for about 3 to 4 minutes until fragrant. As soon as you can smell that toasty goodness, pull them out because they're ready to go. They will keep toasting and cooking after you take them out of the oven. Then we'll let them cool and chop, okay? So my pecans are in the toaster. Let's get to hacking here. We are going to chop these in half, actually. Let's try this with just a spoon. Let's go in a circular motion here. Didn't realize this was going to be challenging. Okay. That was way easier. Would you look at that? Okay, it's a good thing I have a backup apple. Okay, and then I just want to make sure I trim off any of the leafy bit from this stem. Okay, and I'm going to take just a little bit extra out because again, I want a really good apple to filling ratio. So we'll take out a little more. There we go. And I really want to make sure I get all that core taken care of. All right. I'd say that's good. So there's one. Pecans are done. I wasn't even paying attention. That is how you burn your pecans, is when you're so focused on something you're not even paying attention. Maybe don't do these two things at the same time. I don't think I'm gonna risk cutting another apple just for one more half. I think we'll just stuff them really good and just stick with the, what, 5? Can Rachel count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heard it here first. I can count. Great. All right. Now we have 5 apples halved and cored, nice and ready to go. Let's chop our pecans and get moving here. Put our apples down. Like that. So now what we're going to do is take our 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and our 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon and sprinkle it over the apples. And then we're going to rub it in. Let's rub this in. Just really coat them. Oh, this is going to be so good. I just want to chomp on it already. So funny story, I live in Arizona. So as much as I'm trying to will fall with decorations and pumpkin spice and cinnamon brown sugar baked apples, it is still 100 degrees outside. So indoors I can make it fall, but outdoors it probably won't be fall till closer to December. Maybe end of November we'll get somewhere. Maybe. All coated. Hold please. Now I'm gonna rotate my apples here and let's chop some pecans. They're still warm. Oh, per usual, I gotta try one. It's so easy to toast them and just chop them up and put them into every recipe ever. I just think it's almost like a waste of time not to. Oops, I'm making a mess. Welcome to Rachel's Baking Corner, where we make a mess. We're gonna do a bit of a rough chop on these. I think it's going to be very complimentary to have a nice caramely sweet apple and then all of a sudden get a nice chunk of warm, toasty, nutty goodness. So we're not gonna be super precise on that. So honestly, what I'm gonna do is add it to my flour, brown sugar, cinnamon, because all of this is going into the mix at the same time. We have our apples prepped, our pecans toasted and chopped, and we have all of our ingredients ready to go. Let's do this. We're gonna switch to handheld and we're gonna make the filling. Yeah? 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 Yay! So we are going to melt 1 stick of butter, which is 1/2 a cup. We're gonna just do this over high heat until it's fully melted. Butter is all melted. We are going to stir in the flour, oats, brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt directly into this pan. So we've got our oats and everything else. And mix into the melted butter. Notice I'm doing a bit of a scraping motion. It's because I really want to break up any clumps and distribute the butter as evenly as possible. This may seem like it's too dry at first, but just trust the process and keep going. It will all hydrate, promise. Almost as I was saying that, it hydrated. All right, I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna call that distributed. We're back into our normal camera station here. Our mixture is beautiful, perfect. I actually kind of want to try a little bit. That's perfect. All right, let's get our apples. We're gonna start with a full spoonful into each, and then we'll kind of go from there. I have a lot of filling, so even with another apple, I'm not sure how this would have worked. So we're really just gonna start piling it on. Hell yeah. It's okay if it falls off the side. Those little crispy bits that are gonna be on the pan, those are gonna be for some good snacking, let me tell ya. I think that is as good as it's gonna get. Not sure I can fit too much more on there. I'm very pleased though with how much stuffing I've managed to shove on these. Great. All right, we're gonna call that good enough. I will find something to do with the rest of that filling. Now we're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. These are going to bake for 25 minutes covered with foil. Then we're going to uncover the apples and bake for another 20 to 30 minutes until soft and the topping has browned. Yes, I'm reading from the recipe. I can't memorize all this, okay? Let's get baking. See you in a bit. We're gonna make some caramel sauce, yeah? Yeah? All right, so we're making our caramel sauce. First things first, melt the butter over medium heat. I'm gonna switch to a whisk now. Now that the butter is melted, we are going to add our brown sugar. And that's 2 cups. Now we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of cream. We're going to whisk until the brown sugar dissolves. And then we're going to bring this to a boil. We want to stir continuously. Okay, that looks like a boil to me, so we're going to start at 3 minutes. All right, 3 minutes is up. We're going to take it off the heat. Now I'm just whisking it to cool it down. We have about 39 more minutes on the apples. 8.5 minutes covered and then about 20 to 30 minutes uncovered. So I will see you in a bit. Yee. Here we are. We have our perfectly baked apple. It smells so good. All the rest of them are on the pan. We're just gonna work with one right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dress it now. I made my caramel sauce and it looked really thin, but it thickened up beautifully once it cooled. So we're gonna start with a little bit of caramel on top. Then we're gonna add a little sprinkle of salt and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Better believe it. Let's get closer to the camera for a nice close-up. Here we are. Yummy, yummy. It is piping hot. This is relatively fresh out of the oven. I'm just too excited. Let's see if we can use a spoon. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That's how you know it's cooked thoroughly. Let's get a little extra crumble. Let's try it by itself first. It smells warm, it smells sweet, it smells like fall, it smells like apples. I know that sounds silly, but like, of course, but oh, it smells so good. Like, you gotta be kidding me. That's so good. Let's get some ice cream. Way better than I could have expected. Oh, the ice cream makes it too. You need that little bit of creamy. Oh gosh, so good. I need a minute, my goodness. You need to make this. If you want to make anything this fall, I highly, highly suggest you make this. It's very easy. Even that caramel sauce is so easy. I'm not even looking at the camera because I'm more focused on getting another bite of this. It's piping hot, and I honestly suggest it. Serve it piping hot because it's so good. It's so warm, and then you get that contrasting cold ice cream. The crunch from the topping. I think that little kick of salt really helps, and that's not in the recipe. I just know that I like a little salt in my caramel. So I have to go. I have to have a private moment with this plate. I really hope you enjoyed watching. I really hope you make this. This is a good fall go-to recipe. And you can almost kind of close your eyes and picture that the leaves are changing color outside and that there's a brisk breeze and you might put on a sweater. Although that's not my reality. I'm literally sweating as we speak. I can at least take this plate, sit down, go to a little happy place, and be there for a little while. So you deserve that moment too. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, comment what recipes you'd like to see me try, and please subscribe. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye, love you. Mwah. See you later, alligator.